The latest American dietary guidelines recommend 2 servings of seafood each week for adults. But USDA researchers say up to 90% of American adults don't eat the recommended amount. Here with some insights into the health benefits of eating seafood and how to choose what seafood you eat sustainably are my guests, Katie Ferraro, dietitian and nutrition professor at San Diego State University and Miramar College, and Teresa Talley, coastal specialist for California Sea Grant at Scripps Institution of Oceanography. And Katie, what are the health benefits of eating fish on a regular basis?
Well, we recommend eating fish because it's a great way to get protein without the saturated fat that you sometimes find in the higher fat cuts of beef and chicken. On top of that, you get the really valuable omega-3 fatty acids that, to be honest, you just can't get anywhere else in your diet.
Are there some fish that are more beneficial than others?
Well, all fish can certainly fit into a diet, and we recommend, as with all things, you try a variety of different ones so that you get some of the different nutrient benefits. So I wouldn't say that there's any one that really outshines the other, except some of the fattier fish like salmon and tuna. Those will have higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for example, lowering heart disease risk and helping with brain development in pregnant women, for their fetuses, and even for little children.
So how often should you eat seafood, and who should restrict their intake?
So the last dietary guideline said try to aim to eating for fish like 2 to 3 times a week, but as you said, most Americans don't do that. The benefits of eating fish far outweigh any of the potential hazards of mercury or any toxicity. So you're better served to eat more fish, with the exception of pregnant women. Pregnant women should have no more than 12 ounces. So the new guideline is between 8 and 12 ounces a week. But most pregnant women also weren't eating enough fish. So a couple times a week, try not to go over 12 ounces. That's about 3/4 of a pound a week.
In that specific population. Now, Teresa, you did some research on the viability of Tuna Harbor Dockside Fish Market in San Diego. Right. What did you find out about the kinds of seafood that San Diegans are eating?
San Diegans tended to mirror what we find for the rest of the country. We have very narrow preferences, mostly tuna, salmon, and shrimp. And so the people in San Diego mirrored that, and what happened was it kind of mismatched with the sorts of things that San Diego fishermen and aqua farmers raise, which are a lot of the smaller fish, coastal fish, and invertebrates.
Now, we hear a lot about choosing seafood in a sustainable way. Mm-hmm. What is the environmental risk if we continue to eat these popular fish, salmon, tuna, and we just eat those over and over again?
So anytime, I think a push for a more diverse diet, so maybe lesser amounts of more types of seafood or more species is the way to go from a health perspective and also from an environmental perspective.
And the environmental issue of, let's say, is there a problem with eating just salmon or just tuna? How does that impact the environment?
I think eating too much of, not too much, but a lot of any one species increases the fishing pressure, increases the chance that you may get into overfishing or whatever environmental impacts are associated with the farming or catch of that species would be accentuated. So diversifying a diet is
helpful to the environment as well.
Yeah.
And Katie, remind us of some of the differences between farmed and wild fish.
As a dietitian, from a nutritional standpoint, there's actually not a huge variety of difference. There's certainly environmental differences. And at the end of the day, we want to encourage people to eat more seafood in general. And of course, I think opportunities that we have here in San Diego to interface with local farmers, local fishermen, et cetera, gives us that opportunity to select more wild if possible. But at the end of the day, more fish, regardless of where you get it from a nutritional standpoint, is a better option. From environmental, that's a different
issue. Teresa, it brings me back to this. The Tuna Harbor Dockside Market opened over a year ago, and one of its goals was to get people to eat more locally caught seafood. Do you think it's working?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done a follow-up study, but there's a lot of evidence. If you go to the market on a Saturday morning, it's just vibrant. People are there buying fresh fish and talking to fishermen and their families about how to prepare the food and where they caught it, and just hearing their fish stories. And then that market, the Tuna Harbor Market, served as a model for the Pacific to Plate bill that is being put through by Speaker Atkins' office that'll make it a little bit easier from a regulation perspective to start these sorts of fishermen's markets.
Right, and that market's open Saturday morning?
It's Saturday morning from 8 in the morning to 1.
And
it's on Harbor Drive right near Seaport Village.
All right, so eat more fish locally. All right, Katie Ferraro, Teresa, thank you so much.
Thank you.